Yo, what's going on, everybody? I am back with another book breakdown, episode 3. Today we are talking about The Coddling of the American Mind by Greg Lukianoff and Jonathan Haidt. He's got a D and then a T, so I'm not quite sure. We're going to call him Haidt. Jonathan Haidt. But let's roll the intro. Alright, so this book, The Coddling of the American Mind, How Good Intentions and Bad Ideas Are Setting Up a Generation for Failure. Okay, very important book. I think it's very relevant for right now in 2021. It's very humans are acting very tribalistic. It's very it's kind of a negative world we're living in, especially in America. I can say first-handedly that it's just kind of a lot of negativity. It's not the best of times right now. And that being said, this book is very relevant about the mindset that's kind of causing that, and especially the youth. I'm 20 years old, almost 21, and yeah, it's just very this book is very eye-opening. It was written in 2018, and both authors are professors at 2 different universities. And basically this talks about the coddling of the American mind, how, Generation Z, or iGen, which basically means internet generation, and that's my generation. That's anyone born 1995 and after. So basically people that went to college in 2013, I believe, are all the years and ages that this book is mainly talking about. That Gen Z, iGen age group, and that is me and everybody that basically I surround myself with. So it's very eye-opening. These authors really attack the idea that humans are anti-fragile and building a lot of safetyism, and that's kind of like what modern day colleges is doing. I could say that firsthand experience. There's a lot of trigger warnings, or not a lot of words are getting banned. The president just got kicked off the freaking internet, basically, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people are getting offended by certain forms of speeches and certain things like that. Actually catering to that safetyism and building that safety net and giving everybody soft hugs when they feel sad or offended actually creates more mental health problems, more anxiety, and more depressions, and statistics prove that. And that's what this book really talks about, is the idea that it's kind of a myth that we're supposed to completely, a helicopter parent, someone that's completely looking over your child at all times, never letting kids grow up, never letting kids learn from situations that they get themselves in, and then having to get themselves out of situations. And that's real life. Just stopping kids from experiencing bad things is I understand certain bad things, of course, like murder and rape and all these things, those are really detrimental to human beings. But when you get bullied at school, a little bit of insults and a little bit of getting made fun of, you need that to grow up. You need to be able to then make fun of someone else, or take part of that. That's really human life. That's really human culture. And to completely remove that, and that creates a cancel culture, that creates a call out culture. Not just a cancel culture, but a call out culture. So if someone's doing something wrong, everyone's gonna team up on this one person and call him out and demise him. I don't think I used that word right, demise. And but basically shut down their ideas, silence them, make them feel bad about themselves. And then when someone else in that group does something bad, they all team up on that person. And then eventually that cancel culture, that call out culture, creates so much anxiety because everyone's so scared of saying the wrong thing that they're gonna get. Because in all reality, we all sin, we're all hypocrites, we're all not perfect. And that even goes for the best people in the world, the people that are all holy, all great. They all make the same mistakes that we make. So realizing you are taking part in a call out culture is the first step. Is the first step of understanding a retrospective view of what's going on. These authors go through the different situations that have happened and arisen over the past 10 years or so, past 5-10 years at universities, whether it's Milo Yiannopoulos, and he's gotten kicked off YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, because he's like a troll, and he offends people and he disrespects people, and he's basically just like a troll with words. But yeah, he's very popular amongst, like, you know, I guess like the far right conservative people, whatever that may be. He's one of the big persons that they talk about, because when he showed up at universities to make speeches that he was scheduled for, people would go to these speeches. That's where like Antifa really started, and they wanted to stop people like Milo from speaking. So they would like literally yell and curse and scream, and actually sometimes they would protest, and they would actually destroy the whole entire they would basically destroy the whole entire like school property that like was hosting that Milo thing. And yeah, it was pretty crazy to see people take part in that mob mentality. Same thing with Brett Weinstein at the Evergreen University. People were very upset with what he said, and the book goes into that. They also look at why my generation, the I generation, is why is that happening to us? Why are they acting this certain way? And it goes back to safetyism. Our parents, you know, watching the news and seeing little kids get raped, and okay, we don't want our kids to grow up. So a big topic of this book, before I forget, is basically my generation, when we reach age 18, 17, we're not really mature enough to be 18 years old, because we haven't had enough unsupervised interactions. That's the big thing, is we haven't had enough unsupervised interactions to, like I said, get ourselves out of problems, decision making, these things that we have to do on our own when we grow up. When we're like 15, 16 years old, we're really living like a 12-year-old, because our parents, you know, don't want us to grow up a certain way, or have us get in trouble, or have us get kidnapped, which is understandable. But now it leaves a generation that's unmature. We're immature, and it's just, you can definitely see that for sure. People, and we're allowed to vote. Think about all the people that are 18. They probably have the mind of a 15-year-old, and they're voting for the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, like this book really, it's not a biased book. I wouldn't say, every book is biased if you want to say that, but it's not like right wing or left wing or anything like that. It does, honestly, if you want my opinion, it talks about the far left a lot, and that is something that needs to be talked about, because they are creating they're almost fighting the First Amendment, and that's, you know what I'm saying, that's unconstitutional. And they say like fascism, but what they're doing is low-key fascism. When you say something offends you and then you cancel someone for just saying that, he basically hints to the idea that the far left, especially the young far left, you know, the young kids, that, like I said, we don't have enough unsupervised interactions with human beings. So we go to college where we're challenging each other's ideas, right? And we're young, we're immature, we're weak. That's really what we've become. We've become weak mentally, and it's okay. Like, I can admit that, I can see that on myself, and I've tried to take the steps to, you know, do like mindfulness practice, exercise, healthy eating, whatever it may be, challenging myself at different things. But still, you can just kind of see that we are kind of a weaker society. And you could read a book by like Steven Pinker, and he will break down why society is so much better now. And he has great points, and it's really thought-provoking. But this book really goes into the idea of this like really deep like political tribalism that's going on right now, and why that's happening. And it goes back to basically how we've kind of grown up, how we've been brought up by our parents, how our parents have been brought up, and what they've done generally with their lives. You know, get a job, do this, that, and the third, have a kid, watch the news, where there's only a few channels where you could get the news back in the day. And yeah, it's just a very eye-opening book. I really, truly recommend. Not a big read, probably like what? Let me see. 200, like 300, like just under 300 pages. So not a really long read. Definitely recommend it. It talks about the mindset of the youth of our generation right now. I'm not quite sure about, you know, other countries and stuff like that. I don't want to talk out of hand, but this is very coddling of the American mind. So America, ooh, we gotta get it together. But I think it's someone like our generation, if we can read these books, if we can learn what happened, and we can, you know, take the steps and learn from history. That's what we're learning from. It's short history. This is just a few years ago. We can take the steps to learn from it and better our children. And the idea is we can just put ourselves in a better position to not have to go through these mental health challenges. That's a big problem. I know I have said that this book is about a bunch of other things, and it is, but it really talks about the mental health issues of the youth in our country, and it's really astonishing when you really look at it. I don't want to say like I fought mental health myself, but we all fight mental health. Like, I don't like when people try to put a label on themselves. Obviously people are born with certain things, and I don't want to talk out of hand, but I think we all experience these things, and putting a label on yourself just gives you an opportunity to get more attention, or honestly, it gives you an excuse, if you want my honest opinion. But obviously, like I said, I don't want to talk out of hand. People are born with different things, and they deal with different things differently. But that being said, we all deal with anxiety, depression, sadness. Anxiety is a big one, especially right now with phones and the social media, comparing each other, and we got to get a job, and the way financially we're set up, we're all screwed, you know. Unless you're born into wealth or you win the lottery, like, we're all screwed. And it's a scary world that we're living in. So I definitely recommend The Coddling of the American Mind. I believe it is a New York Times bestseller, and very amazing book. I got to get the hardcover, because that's just what it's about, you know what I'm saying? This is a generational book, maybe. I don't know what fun title I want to give it, but Coddling of the American Mind, How Good Intentions and Bad Ideas Are Setting Up a Generation for Failure. If you like this video, please smash that like button, drop a comment. If you've read this book, and if you gained any other, ideas or anything. I didn't want to spoil it too much with these book breakdowns. I don't want to explain the whole book, so then people's like, oh, I don't have to read it. It's like, read it. I'm trying to encourage people to just pick up a book. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I do have the new book that came out by Professor Godsod, The Parasitic Mind, and I believe it is a similar idea and similar topic as to this book. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like button, subscribe for more content. Take it easy, deuces. Check out my podcast, link will be in the description. Follow me on Instagram. Deuces.